welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we're live on a Saturday morning to do some feedback for you guys, all right? You guys left comments throughout the week. You voted in the polls. You left comments on the YouTube. You emailed us. All of that stuff we're going to talk to you about, okay? We got no voicemails this week. It's fine. And we're going to read our 5-star reviews. It's all lovely stuff.
Yay.
The official weapon of the show
It's the folding chair.
It's the folding chair, correct. You got it again. And the unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
And bullet ball, extreme. Find us everywhere you find podcasts. Search The Black Guy Who Tips. Leave us 5-star reviews because we really do appreciate those. It means the world to us. And especially if they're nice, okay? We don't need no haters,
nice.
okay? We don't need no hating and holleration or whatever it is in this dancery.
We don't need them issues in the dancery. You hate over there.
Hate over there. Away from us. We don't want to see
away
it.
From us.
I'm not Kev on stage. I don't thrive off my haters, okay?
Hate in the haters club, so y'all can all hate on each other.
Right. Y'all go be haters together. But also, there are people that love us. They love us so much they give us money. They go to the blackouttips.com. They look on the right hand side of the website and they go, hey, money, have some.
Thank you.
And we go, thank you. And we give them a shout out for that.
We do.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
Today's a new day.
All right, new hellos, new, I don't know, monos, monies, I don't know, new honeys, new monies. Alfonso M. I don't think of these all the time before it starts. YRD Design, thank you very much. Palmetto Stone Magic, appreciate you. James C. Jasmine J. Cal K. Oh, that's cool. JJKK. Okay, I see you. David
As
C.
long as it ain't an extra one, we good.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know what Cal's middle name is. Dr. Professor Bambi. Jason F. We got a donation from the Falcons Diva, of course. Derek L.W., cousin of 3LW, the R&B group. Ken M. We got a one-time donation from Lena H., who says, heard you first on Karen Hunter. You're great. Don't get all your references, but I agree with you a lot. Waving emoji. Lena. Thank you, Lena. Woo-hoo! And look, no one gets all of anyone's references. That's okay. If you had your own podcast and you had to talk for hours a week to an audience of millions of people, thousands of people, however many people listen to the show, I promise you, you'd give up on everybody getting all your references immediately.
Yeah, because sometimes Roger has to remind me, hey, some things you just can't skip. Everybody with there.
and I can't reference everything and explain everything. The show would be crazy. It wouldn't even sound right. But I appreciate you listening anyway.
We do.
Lawrence C. And lastly, Zach from the Living Corporate Podcast. Thank you, everybody who took the time out to reach into their pockets and give us some change. Speaking of change, we got some 5-star reviews.
Yay, I like 5-star reviews.
2 new ones to me, because I don't remember reading the last one, but we may have read it and I just forgot. But I'll
That's
read it
all
again.
right.
The first one is exceeds expectations, winky face emoji.
Come on, exceed expectations.
From Yolanda N, who says, Rod and Karen exceed expectations with every podcast episode. Thank you.
Woohoo!
And you know what? I'm not even going to ask for a raise. I just appreciate being seen.
I'm not even gonna ask for a raise, and you know, and what's the crazy part? I think I would advocate more for the podcast. I'd be like, God damn it, as hard as I work, we exceed all the expectations. I'm like, you ain't gonna cheat me. I get exceed everything.
Last one is the realest alive from Nessa PPO620, who says 5 stars. I can see it in your eyes. I also love your show. This is a fantastic show. Funny, punny, smart, and genuine. Listen regularly. Feels like y'all my friends in North Carolina. Keep doing what you doing.
Thank you.
And we shall keep doing what we're doing. Thank y'all for those kind 5-star reviews. That was very nice of you. And of course, we're always trying to, reach out there and make y'all feel like friends, from across the way. We hope we feel like friends to some extent. It's the friends in your head. And, we need friendly faces and friendly voices these times. In a time where so many people just volunteering to be the enemy.
Right? They just volunteering.
It's nice to listen to somebody and they not just like, fuck you.
Right. My job is not to fight you.
All right. Let's get into the show episodes. We had 6 comments on our feedback episode, 3073. Yay, our friends are on, was the title. Of course, Appia speaks in first. She says, creating fear is part of the authoritarian system. I agree. I'm a white lady in Western Europe, not exactly the target of your administration. And still, when I read what they are doing, I feel fear. Of course, it's especially working in someone who can trend to catastrophic thinking, but also it's part of their plan. Thank you, Rod, for pointing it out. It helped me with my fear because I could see it from the outside. Always a great therapeutic tool. I also strangely feel hope. When it's so bad at this point where the Republicans start turning on him, something they never did before, it's a new thing. It's not really going great for him. It has been a lot of discord and defections and fighting back and forth for Republicans. Not enough yet for me to feel too much hope, but enough for me to see that it's not. He's having issues trying to rule, trying to pass his stuff. It's not all going to plan. Of course, the judges are pushing back in certain areas, but we're just a long way away to me. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, and I hate I'm sorry to interrupt. And also the thing is, some of them are pushing back because you know what? Trump doesn't have to deal with going back to the constituents. They're the ones going, and these people just cutting up in the town hall meetings and calling them out and talking about losing their job. So they're like, hey, some of the stuff I got to push back against because I got to look these people in the face if I want to get reelected. Like not trying funny. These are things that he doesn't have to worry about. So for some of them, they're not doing this shit out of quote-unquote kindness of their hearts. They're doing it because they want to get reelected. And their constituents is like, hey, bitch, I didn't think it was going to happen to me. Do something.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. But I feel you though. I'll tell you this much. I'm not hopeless.
Agreed.
I'm not hopeless. And that's more about my long view of history than it is about the current moment and like the people that are fighting back right now. But it's not over yet. And we'll see how it goes. But this chaos, you're already seeing like some of these billionaires turning on him and stuff. But I can never feel too much hope because at the end of the day, these people did vote for him. Yeah, and they were like on his side, and they looked past all the shit that he did that was fucked up. And so right now, I feel like a lot of people are invested in being correct, being right. And their bias is showing, and so when he does something fucked up, they act like it's incongruent when they don't agree with it. Like, whoa, I can't believe Trump is doing these tariffs. I need that for my Tesla sales. But then when he's back, whenever he's back on message or he's not fucking with their specific issue, they're back to being like, he's a genius, great, what a great leader. And so we're not there yet, but there are cracks showing.
Yes, I 100% agree because right now it's not about their action. It's not about their words. It's about their actions because it's too many times where they've done this fake outrage, then turn around and still vote on party line. And so the time is gonna come when bills start coming up and shit like this. If they still vote along party line, we still got a long way. Like they would have to literally when it's time for Senate and the Congress and all these people to put shit on the record. And there are consequences, repercussions to the actions that will determine if they're serious or not.
My name isn't on the company building either, but I must say I get lots of recognition in my work from colleagues, from people in other departments and supervisors. And by that, I mean money and nice things people say. It seems to be saved in my files because when I changed departments in 2023, this happened. I had to negotiate my new salary. I thought I was being assertive with my demands. Luckily, the HR lady went first and offered me $8,000 more a year than my maximal demand in my head was. I would love to have recorded my response. It was something like, oh, okay, sounds good. Did I hear you correctly? I am a smart, very responsible workhorse with great ideas. Luckily, I can also see when someone wants to take advantage of me or steal my accomplishments, or I would be a perfect target for lazy assholes. let's see if this comment goes into moderation. Because for some reason that comment went into moderation. Of course, okay. I know you obsessed with catastrophic thinking. Okay, I know you are, and I get it. It's not. You can't always control it. But let me just assure you, as a listener to the show, the moderated comments are automatic on the website. I have nothing to do with it. They always come to me. If I see they are from you, I approve them. So just don't abuse the privilege. You know, like if I see you typing out the N-word, of course I'm not gonna approve that. But like, you're never writing anything that I wouldn't put on the show.
Right.
And I don't know what the fuck I don't even know what the moderation rules are. It could literally just what, Karen? It could literally just be that you're from like Germany. It could be any fucking thing. You leave comments all the time. 99% don't go into moderation. So I don't know what happened these last couple of weeks, but please don't worry about trying to figure out the moderation thing. And the reason I don't want you to worry about it is because that actually does make more work for me that we don't need. So if you want to like test the moderation features, please don't. Just type only write what you were going to write anyway, instead of making more shit for me to read if it's not necessarily germane to what we talked about this week. That being said, I'll read this comment. There's no way to change the sex of your child fast. Parents of trans kids have to go a long way. I know if we were in that situation, I would always wonder if our decision, no matter what it was the right one for our child in the long run. Yeah, and I think you could say the same thing of every decision for every child, period, right? Like every decision you make for all your children is going to be like, I hope it was the right one in the long run. Like this one just feels like a big thing and a new thing because we haven't discussed it in society as much, especially in American culture, but I'm sure in many countries, like trans people as people who deserve protection and whose lives deserve rights and all this stuff, it's not necessarily something that's been even discussed. And so now you have, all this panic, you have all this pushback all over the globe and all this different stuff. But at the end of the day, to me, if your kid is cishet, you're still going to need the long view, the long scope of history that decides if you are doing the right things or not. How many of us have complexes about stuff that are just like your parents meant well, or your parents, or your parents were fucking up, but like in the moment they thought they were right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people that have issues about their weight where they have like very big hang-ups about their body, and they'll be like, it's because my mama did this or my dad said that. And at that time, I'm sure if you asked the parent, if they took a lie detector test, they'd be like, I'm right, and I'm just trying to keep my child healthy. This is what I know to do. I think often that's what happens in so many areas, but when it's like trans kids, we of course understand the impacts of those as suicide, as depression and other things, where people are just under attack constantly. So I see why it would be like that, but also I would say it's a very conservative Republican talking point to try to make this sort of like, all trans people, the vast majority, they regret their supportive parents and all this shit. They regret that their parents helped them get hormone therapy, or they find the 1 out of 1,000 and be like, look at this person. And that is a fear-mongering tactic. But, I think a good parent would always be concerned with, I hope I'm doing the right thing. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, and I agree. And also the thing is, it's tough being a parent. You don't get no instructions. Every child is different. Two parents can have multiple children, and each child has a different set of parents, because you age, they age, all types of shit is happening in their lives. They know more as they get older. All types of shit's happening. And also, as a parent, just like any other human being, you don't know what you know till you know. And a lot of times, depending on the age and your parents and things like that, a lot of parents just leaned on what they were taught and are like, well, this worked for me, blah, 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 blah. But as time goes on, and as we have more words and more books, and as certain things come out and people begin to learn more about different love languages and all that stuff, and parents start to branch out and read and kind of educate themselves more on being a parent, techniques changes and styles changes. And even then, as a parent, you're not always going to get it right because children are different. And the thing is, a decision you make as a parent, children don't understand at that time, and they don't understand why you made those decisions. And as they get older and as they become parents themselves, if they become parents or just as they become an adult, they begin to be like, oh shit, I see why you did that. But it takes them a while to get to that point. And I will continue to say this, parents are nothing but human beings trying to navigate the world like everybody else. But society tells you to treat your parents like that, like on a pedestal stool, and then when they let you down, everybody's very hurt and disappointed. And I get that. I get that because of the interaction between parents and children. But at the same time, parents are just people trying to navigate the world like everybody else. And if you look at your parent as a normal ass human being who just fucks up, makes mistakes, makes errors like you do in your lifetime, you will have more compassion for your parents. I'm not saying forgive them. I'm not saying forget what they did. I'm saying you have more compassion and understanding to their decision making.
EVE says, just wanted to piggyback on the anime recommendation for Karen. I know you like playing cozy games like games, Karen, and I would like to recommend watching Frieren Beyond the Journey's End. It feels like a cozy game about an elf mage who retraces the steps of her last adventure after most of her former party members have passed on. It's a really beautiful story and was nominated for Anime of the Year. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, that's what she's recommending it for you.
Oh, okay. It's on the list. I see it all the time on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time on the Nerd Off. I watch some of it. I'm mostly just surprised other people like it. Same thing with Apothecary Diaries. I'm watching that and I'm enjoying it, but like, it's so weird, the diversity of the Anime of the Year category this year, because it's just like some of these I can't believe they're as popular as the other ones, just because like Solo Leveling feels like extremely traditionally popular.
Yes.
But then like Frieren feels like something that's so deep and nuanced and sometimes, slow cooking, and same thing with Apothecary Diaries, that I'm surprised people are like those as much as I do. She says, just wanted to say I answered no on the poll. I have never smoked crack, but back in my younger days, I casually dated a guy who mentioned that he did. I ghosted his ass. Total deal breaker. Wow, one crack and you was out? Wow, that's crazy. Shoe Booty says, there are suggestions for things like book club, recommendations, etc. that end up being more work for Rod than he would like to take on, moderate, or execute, in addition to all the hard work he puts into the podcast as it is. Would anyone be interested in the Blackout Tips Discord server? We could have different channels for things like books, movies, etc., and just discussion. Community curated content, basically. Hear a book mentioned, want to recommend one on your own, put it out there. I did it. Feel free to join the chat. Others, invite others or whatever. Please be kind. This is the first server I ever created, and I'm just winging it. So she created a Discord server for the Black Guy Who Tips. I'll put it in the chat.
If people want to join.
For people if they want to join. I'll also, if I don't forget, put it in the show notes. And I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I'm not joining the thing.
Me
right?
either. Not joining.
And I'm not telling y'all like I would like it's dope. I hope y'all join it.
Right.
The only reason I'm not joining, at least I did, but I'd say in general we had a bad time with our Facebook group when we tried to do a Facebook group years ago, and people just it was just too much drama. People were going back and forth about stuff. Hopefully that wouldn't happen today, but I don't know.
Right.
And
so y'all got it.
People be having interpersonal conflicts and stuff. Now, it's fine, I think, as a fan, right? Like, as a fan, like, these motherfuckers want to fight. It's entertainment. As the podcast host, it just sucked for me because people was coming to me like I was King Solomon and shit, like, split this baby. And it's like, ma'am, I don't know what is happening with y'all's personal lives. Like, I don't know who telling the truth. Call the police. You know what I mean? Like, so, anyway, all that stuff to say, I love this idea.
Me too.
I've tried to create like a Amazon storefront type thing. It's very difficult. I can't, like, I've been working with it different ways, from the influencer side to this, and they're sending me emails like, use Canva to create your page and all this type of shit. And I'm just like, why is this turning into work?
It shouldn't have been. I didn't think it would be that hard.
Right, of course not. I have to do all the stuff. And so I'm already doing stuff behind the scenes y'all don't know about. Stuff with branding, stuff with our the clips that you guys see go viral on social media. There's like professional projects I'm working on. I just did our fucking taxes. It's like I am always working, doing something. Not to mention, of course, just the day-to-day management of the website. I'm so behind on movie reviews. Like, so anything that adds more work, no matter how simple a lift it is, it a lot of times it is like, man, if there was another way to do this for other people to do it, it would be easier. And so I like this idea, and I hope that you guys join. I hope that
hope you have a great time.
I hope that you guys really find community with each other and stuff like that. I have no idea if the Facebook group is even still going. It might be. I'm not sure. It's not going?
No, I have no idea either.
Yeah, so I have no idea. That might be a place too, but yeah, you know, if you guys see stuff mentioned on the show multiple times and stuff, it's a great place, because I know somebody always does take notes, and some of y'all will not hit the rewind button. Like literally we will say something on the show like, yo, I like this video game, and we'll get a comment on YouTube or email later like, what was the name of that video game? It's like, you had a 30-second rewind button. You could have hit 30 seconds back. Instead, you rather wait a week for me to see the email and answer it. That's crazy.
Get your answer twice as long.
Right. So I hope that helps. But thank you, Shoe Booty. Rona Raphael says, I would like to apologize to Sean. You were right, and therefore have won yourself 2 years of VIP OSS protection. The Japanese office shall be in touch with you. It's free. You only have to pay for your registration, one-time fee, or split into monthly payments. Ain't I benevolent? Orca's bringing a great day to the world. I guess this is Orca Secret Service. YouTube, we got how many comments on this one? 6 comments. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Happy birthday, says Annunciation.
Yay!
Heart emoji says W. Provocative AF says happy birthday, Karen, from Shifty St. Louis to North Carolina. Hey, yo, I love y'all podcast. Damn, Rod, I'm glad I watched Karen Hunter. That's how I found you and followed you here. Question, bruh. You played a beat at the 128.26 mark that was mofo fire. That mofo fire. Can you tell me who's the producer and or where I can find the instrumental? I want to get permission to use it. I'm gonna tell the artist I heard it on my favorite podcast, The Blackout Tips. Thanks, much love, bro. Hi, Karen. Let me see if I can find, what do you say, 128.26
mark.
What beat? 28.26. What beat would that have been? Oh, that is, I love that beat. God, what is the name of that beat though? I want to say it. Sun something. Oh man, you know, I'll just try to do a better job remembering what trying to shout out Sunburst, I think is the name of it. Yeah, it's called Sunburst. And let me see. I want to say that before I give it to the wrong person.
And how they baby
I want to say it's DJ
sideways
Jaffa.
In the car.
Yeah, it's DJ Jaffa. You can find DJ Jaffa on Instagram. DJ Jaffa. You'll know it's him because he'll probably be wearing a Blackout Tip shirt, because that dude be DJing, fully repping the show all the time. It's kind of crazy. Like, it's real cool, obviously, but it's also kind of crazy that he does that.
Right?
It definitely makes us feel, you know, cooler than we are.
Right? I'm like, woo, I'm that special.
But it's DJ Jaffa. All, no spaces, all one word. DJ Jaffa. DJ Jaffa. DJ Jaffa. So, yeah, and that's a dope ass beat. Let's see. Will 2K says, y'all better hope Monique doesn't hear about your comment. She will have Sid set up a low definition camera in an oddly lit room where they will sit in the bottom corner of the frame with low bandwidth, podcasting how evil you are while someone landscapes with all that power equipment at the same time right outside the window.
Oh no!
Well, you better hope she don't read this comment, Will 2K-001.
Right?
Cause she gonna take this as slander.
She gonna take that personally.
DL Hewley, Kevin Hart, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, Will Packer, The Breakfast Club, John Murray, the one she pronounced, that's how she pronounces John Mary, And now maybe the blackout tips. Stay safe, guys. Well, hopefully we're way down the list.
I hope we at the bottom. Take us off the list.
I ain't never stopped her from getting a check, so hopefully if she don't like us, we at the bottom. I don't feel like I've said anything too bad about her, but you never know, man. We give opinions. People have opinions on us. It's kind of the game. She's living a public life. People have opinions on her. That's part of the game. It is what it is. But I always have to feel compelled to at least try to be honest with the audience. Critical Thinker says, happy birthday, Karen, belatedly. I'm so glad you enjoyed your meal. Please continue. You and Rod to model rational people who hold space for reasonable, independent thought and actions. Thank you.
Yay, I did. Chad, I enjoyed the hell out of that meal.
And, of course, the poll, have you ever tried crack? Very rare. 100% no. So 0 yeses in the audience. Interesting.
We do. Our audience don't fuck with that crack.
I guess not. All right, let's get into a beat so I can know where to put some commercials later, and then we will come back and do some more feedback. Episode 3074, one walk at a time. We got 9 comments on this one.
Ooh, y'all had a lot to say.
Abia says, exercise every day. I either go to class, mostly yoga, or I do at least 30 minutes at home for myself, and every day I walk at least 10,000 steps. That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Abia says, Karen, keep it going. I'm the same age as Rod, and I'm the fittest I've ever been in lots of categories. It's a cool experience to see how much better you could get at this age and how good the body feels. I have 0 pain in my body. It's very strong and very flexible. I have also at least semi-flexible hours when it's a home office day, at least 2 times a week. I can start working in the morning and go to class at 9 a.m. Love what it does for my body and my brain.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's good to stay active. We know all the positive things of going outside and sunlight and your blood flow.
Right.
And exercise does great for wonders for your brain and your thinking. I mean, we know all the things, guys. Let's do it.
And the thing is, they can tell you that all day long, but I know sometimes it's kind of an internal thing, like in your own mind. And so, I went walking again this morning, and it was a little cooler. I put on a jacket, I'm always cold. It was like 59 degrees. I was like, oh, bitch, it's going to be a coat. So I put on my coat and went out there, and I went walking. I have this real long, I call it like a walking stick, but it's more to beat dogs away. Dogs aren't around here, but just in case one decide to be froggy and walk up on me, I got something for you, a dog. And so, because you don't never know when a dog just decided you don't like you today. Well, bitch, I don't like you either. Take this stick. And so that's why I carry the walking stick with me, and or for any attackers that might decide to run up on me. I don't know. It's a mental thing. So I'm like, I don't need no surprises.
Nah, black people love walking sticks.
Yeah, and I went walking with your mama one time. We had to use it because we were walking, minding our own damn business, and the dude opened the door, and the dog decided to come towards us. And so we started beating the sticks at the ground. He finally got him to come back, but I was like, hey, you about to lose this dog. You better call him back to you. But anyway, I also use the sticks. I, kind of do a little like bench press with the stick over my head and all that stuff. So I use the stick for more than just, like a walking assistant. And so it was a good little walk this morning.
Shoe Booty says, oh no, all my daughter's aunties are actually her aunts. The day she realized, wait a minute, if Jackie ain't your sister, aren't actually her aunts. The day she realized Jackie ain't your sister, how are her kids my cousins? Yeah, it is what it is.
Everybody got that.
I don't know if everybody got that. I know it's definitely a black thing to have that. Because there was a thing online about white people not having like cousins that ain't their cousins, and that being like that was during the pandemic. Everybody was discovering shit about each other because we were bored.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's obviously white people that do practice that, but I think it's not necessarily as broad cross cultures.
Okay,
like,
right.
Black people, we grow up all the time with people that's cousins that are just not related to us. It's like that's not a requirement to be a cousin.
Yeah, or have cousins that are older than you. You just call auntie because you know they older than you and everybody else call them that.
Yeah. Let's see. Appia says, Karen, keep it going. I'm the same. Oh, wait, I said that. Okay. EV says, your fitness journey has been inspiring, Rod. Losing weight is the cherry on top of the goals you achieve. I started my own fitness journey over a year ago for health reasons, and I'm also down a significant amount of weight. But the best part is isn't what I see on the scale, but the fact that I don't get winded walking more than a couple blocks. The backache is gone. My knees feel better. The quality of my life has improved as well as my mental health. I'm definitely with you about not shaming people about their own journeys. I hate those fitness gurus who ask questions like, what's your excuse? Whenever I hear that, I want to scream, none of your fucking business. People have various reasons for not being able to exercise, even if they don't want to. Even if they don't want to, that's a valid reason. You can't make people want it. They will have to want it for themselves, and that's okay. The only person you're responsible for is you. Yeah. I just think so much of that stuff comes from an unhealthy inner voice, and a lot of people don't question it because it's been considered normalized, and we think the only way to motivate somebody is through just shitting on them and being mean to them and picking on them, which tells us about your motivations for the things that you're doing. So even when somebody is, traditionally attractive on the outside, if the voice on the inside is one that is like, ugh, you fat, ugly, you lazy piece of shit, I don't want that in me. I don't want that voice talking to me. I don't want that inhabiting my mind. I'm sorry, but you can have that, and that's your inner monologue. And if that's what motivates you and you think that's a good thing, sure. But that never motivated me. And I heard and have seen so much of fitness culture and stuff that is just that. It's you a bitch. It's the Celebrity Fit Club, the Biggest Loser, and they're just yelling and being mean to people and shit and picking on them and stuff like that. Or you see the host, they'll pretend to be nice to the person on that show, but then when they're doing like a interview on some other platform, they're like, ugh, Lizzo, she's terrible for everybody, and you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I think a lot of this stuff is it's not really about what they say it's about, which is, I'm just saying this because I think these people I care about them and I want them to be motivated. No, you just picking on people. The same way when people were saying the F word all the time about gay people, they weren't trying to motivate them. It wasn't because they cared. No, you're mocking them and you think it's funny that they're gay and you think there's something bad about being gay. That's how people feel about people being fat. It's a lot of that, and then they try to cover it up with, no, I'm trying to motivate you. No, well, so me, the person that is fat, is telling you that is not motivating me. Why won't you stop? Right. Because you're not trying to motivate me. You think it's funny, you think it's whatever. And that's their prerogative to think that way, but it's my prerogative to say that's not what's working for me. And a big part for years of me, I think, kind of not wanting to do a lot of this stuff publicly was the fact that I was like, I see so much negativity and so much stuff that I think is harmful out there when people start talking about their bodies and losing weight or whatever. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to be honest. But a lot of what I say, I try to make sure it does not mirror in that negative self-talk area. And honestly, that's what's been keeping me motivated. It's not the negativity. I don't wake up and think, oh God, I hate myself, I hate my body, I gotta go to the gym so I can love myself. That's not what I think at all. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and also with you talking, it makes me go back and look at my mama, and when you said that voice, I never realized that voice in her was extremely loud. And as a kid, you don't realize how loud that voice was. And me and her both had weight problems at one period of time. And she lost a lot of weight, and I did too, because, she changed, the way she cooked and things like that. And it was one of those things to where that voice is continued to still be loud in her. And every child is different. And as I got older, like I said, I learned the words. And so I am the type of person, I do not respond well to negative reinforcement. I am a positive reinforcement type of person. Negative reinforcement pisses me off, makes me mad, turns me off, and I won't do shit just because you're coming at me the wrong way. I'm much more mature than that now, but as a kid, I was like, oh, bitch, fuck you then. Because that was just my type of personality. And so what you're saying now makes more sense to why I responded terribly to her coming at me with that negative reinforcement, thinking that she was, like you said, thinking that she was helping, but she actually was not.
Yeah, for me, it's just like I need people we're on a team together. We're all like, I like having a trainer. I like having a nutritionist. I look at it more like I've set a goal and I have people in my corner that are pushing me towards that goal, and their job isn't to make me feel bad or guilty or sad. I thrive off the positivity. I look forward to going to the gym. It makes me feel good, and I wish I had realized that or known that years ago, because I just looked at it as the place people go that don't like either everyone in there already feels good about their bodies and they're looking around at you like fuck are you doing in here, or everybody look at you, your body, it's not a gym body, or everybody in there is like using anger to motivate them, whether it's anger at themselves, anger about how they don't want to look, whatever. And to just know that there's a very healthy ecosystem in that gym and that culture, and it's not intimidating and it's not bad, and people do want the best for you, and they want the best for themselves, and most people are working on their own paper. They're not looking at yours. It's not about you. And the few times that someone does acknowledge you or say something to you, most people are extremely polite, extremely positive and supportive. You might get a thumbs up or a head nod from people just seeing you in there all the time, or you might get people that say, like, oh man, I see like some, this is working, or, every once in a while you get a little bit of like, what's your goals, or, how much weight you lost. But honestly, even at this point, I don't feel bad about people saying that kind of stuff to me. That was part of therapy for me, was like, I'm not going to break or fold just because somebody asked me a fucking question, and it's not going to become a fucking international incident. Like, people ask those questions all the time. Therapy is for me to be able to handle that life.
Yep.
So for somebody to come over and be like, how much weight you lost, if I don't want to tell them, I just don't tell them. And if I do, I tell them. It's like one guy came over and said, man, I see you losing weight. What's your goal? And I said, my goal is to be in here 5 days a week. And he just, like smiled and said, all right, man, that's what's up. And like, it wasn't confrontational or mean. It's just, sometimes it just be like that, and not everybody know you to know like what your triggers are and to step around them. So it's up to you. But, I say all that to say, like, it's been a rewarding environment, and, I enjoy going, and I enjoy seeing what I can do. And I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that I can just do hard things that I didn't think I was possible of. You just do it a little bit at a time. And, it's like you see the weights the first day and you're like, I can't lift that. But, a year from now, you can lift it 12 times,
Mm-hmm.
I think that funeral embalmer's only mistake was castrating the body in front of a witness. That was dumb. Yeah, she should have made sure old girl was team I hate pedophiles before.
And before making that decision?
Yeah, because like y'all are going to burn the body up anyway. Who gives a fuck if you put the dick in his mouth? Even if it was a good person. I'm not saying she should have did that, but even if it was a good person, what the fuck does it matter? Y'all are cremating the body. Why are you snitching? I mean, now if she took a picture with it or put it on TikTok, okay, sure.
Then you got something to say.
Then you should tell, because that's just dumb and everyone's going to find out. But she put you in the circle of trust and you violated it. Rona Raphael says, speaking of exercising, you're right, it can be in your head. There's a version of this intergalactic fella that had a body inspired after he saw 300. Basic training kind of forced it out of him, and after a devastating heartbreak, he rode on a camel into the desert and said, fuck abs, he'll be a sexy one-pack. But every now and then he looks back wondering if he had never stopped exercising, he would have been this or that. Then he saw Rod exercising in the universe during his galactic trips and said to himself, quit reminiscing like a 90s R&B singer and get off the galactic surf. So he started walking and signed up for a program at the VA. Don't tell this administration. Right, they're going to cut it. He lately A black man walking? Hell no. How much we paying for that? He's lately been increasing his steps by 5K consistently for 3 weeks now, seeing new opportunities to bring orcas, sea security services. Oh, that's what it stands for. Okay. For the to the masses. They thank you for inspiring despite the Cold War on middle names, coming soon to HBO. Oh, by the way, Karen, you was giving away great game with your list. I was dying. Best death ever. Simma says, thank you both for this excellent episode, including top tier banter. I've been working with a physical trainer, virtual training, free benefit of my job, and your words helped to reinforce what she was telling me about pacing, building a routine, and letting go of all or nothing because I'm not moving how I used to move. After all that encouragement, Karen's list and then the guest race had me cackling on my express bus, people trying to get their pre-work nap, and I was in tears trying to stifle my laughs. Y'all really are the best. Someone said, going back to listen to episode 1675. Oh, now I forgot which episode that was. Why I told y'all to listen to that. I'm sure it was some shit I was right about. Which I do love to be. Oh, This Is America. Yeah, that was a great episode. Mark Crand says, I really enjoyed this episode. Karen's list, chef's kiss.
Thank you.
I was listening when I pulled up to work and had to gather myself because that was hilarious. The belly gang Cushington fellow is black, by the way. Keep doing the work because we sure do appreciate you both. Everyone's told me that, and I did not realize his dad is black. He got the JL Coban. He look white, but he not white. That's why the nigga ain't hit when it came out of his mouth. I went, ugh, hold up, what? But as one has to do these days, he has pictures all over the internet with his black dad to show that he does have the N-word pass or the black pass or whatever. They say he was raised black, so I apologize to that man. He probably never heard of us and probably never will give a fuck about anything we got to say, and I don't blame him. But I just personally I apologize because I thought he was a white dude doing an imitation of black culture. There's layers to be had, there's nuances and pushback to be had, but honestly I'm not interested in all that. I don't want to push back on that man's experience. I don't know him, and I've already overstepped my bounds by saying like this white dude did this, that, and the other. So I apologize to that dude if he's out there listening, and I'm sure this thing is probably not a new issue for him. If you can take one look at him and see he's probably been dealing with this his whole life.
Yep.
But yeah, that's for him to deal with. It's kind of like Logic. People always shit on Logic, and but he is half black. Like that is his life. So it's not for me to speak on what his experience is. My grander point about whiteness and the co-opting of our culture, I still stand by, but not him personally. I would apologize to.
Agreed.
Sean says this is a very eye-opening episode, from people being shot in the eye to brass knuckles being popped and the eye together for Popeyes to the one-eyed bandit becoming a mouthful. This episode was indeed a wild ride. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Let's see if there's anything on YouTube. 7 comments on YouTube. Let's see what we got. Will 2K says, if you don't like us, leave us alone. Don't leave any reviews. Put that on everything. Yeah, y'all know how it is with me. When it comes to all the hating and shit, I don't like going back and forth.
No.
I want to make my mama proud. You guys are not doing anything with your life. You may not see it, but I'm trying to accomplish something, and you guys are preventing me from that. All y'all haters, I'm trying to accomplish my dreams. If you don't like me, just block me. I didn't do anything to you.
Yes.
Me and that little girl on the same page.
Sayida says, not Tussie deodorant, #Gen X.
Yeah, you have to be of a certain age to even know what the fuck that is.
Jay Harris says, love the show. The rapper that stopped traffic is interracial, white mom, black dad. I do like his music, but that freestyle was whack. Yeah, a lot of people did say the freestyle was whack. I didn't even get into the substance of the freestyle. Shutting down traffic is just, it's not smart decision making. I know you want to be like, a viral moment on the internet, but I feel like most people are just gonna be like, well, that was really whack for him to do that. Anyway, the rapper is Belly Gang Cushington, used to go by Cushington. His daddy black. He was raised black. Y'all know we come in all shapes and colors. I like how y'all saw. That means you saw the person that answered 2 days before your answer, and was still like, I need to say also the same thing.
Anyway. Be sure you know, Rod.
Sherry Blade says, I really appreciate this conversation one walk at a time. I haven't been in anyone's gym for almost 2 years, and I want to get back to it because it's such a great stress reliever. This week, I've been going for a walk every evening with my partner after work, and it's been great. I want to do more, but starting here has been great. Yeah,
it's
not
small
honestly.
Things.
Walk every evening is already that's an amazing start. Like, once again, all I'm saying is, for me, the goal was to be consistent, and consistency just changes over time. My original thing that I was doing, I was going to the YMCA once or twice a week and just shooting basketball for 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, just shooting around by myself. Nobody was in there. And you get more of a workout than you think, because I haven't been playing ball in a while, so my jumper was broke as fuck.
And chasing that ball.
Yeah, so it was a lot of, and they didn't have a fucking tarp down in the gym, so it was a lot of running from one whole side of the gym to the other, and then slowly walking back. So I got in, and so I did that a couple times a week, and then I started walking around the track upstairs inside. And then, eventually I got the trainer, and then the trainer was like, have you tried walking outside? And honestly, I was like, why the fuck would I ever want to do that? And now I love walking outside. When I don't walk outside, I miss it. When there's days where it's raining and I have to do the bike inside or something, it's like, oh man, I really wish I could be outside. I walk in the rain now. Sometimes it's raining, I'm like, let me get my poncho and go for this walk. I want to see some turtles. I want to see some ducks. I want to,
the bugs,
see people and wonder if they're racist for not smiling at me. I want to get out there and have that experience. Walk by the ice cream truck and not get any, because I'm trying to do the right things.
That's a tough call, walking past the ice cream truck. I ain't even gonna lie.
Freedom Park, that ice cream truck on the weekends, boy, they know what they doing out there.
They be ringing that bell.
I think about it every single time. I think about that shit. Nope. Anyway,
keep it going, Rock. Keep it going.
Jason says, run nigga run for a running club is nuts. Well, wait till you see our shirts.
Oh no!
Okay,
I'm banning the shirt, y'all. I'm sorry.
Haha. Or you can take the Run DMC logo and call Run Club Run DEI.
I like Run DEI.
A 16-year-old Subway manager is wild. I do find it interesting that in the 911 call, the person referred to the victim as our 16-year-old manager. I have a feeling that they always refer to her as our 16-year-old manager.
Of course you do.
Some folks at the restaurant are not happy answering to a sophomore. Yeah. But Subway better be paying for that baby's medical bills, college and grad school. I doubt it. I'm going to just go on a limb and say I doubt that Subway's gonna be paying that kind of insurance.
Now when that baby probably getting paid $6.75 an hour by the time they tax it down.
Right. They're like, you got 2 arms. What's the problem? Use the other one. The poll, do you currently have an exercise routine? 66% of our audience says yes. 34% no. Shout out to 66%.
Yeah.
Although that makes sense though, because I bet a lot of y'all listen while you're exercising
and walking and things like that. I know some people say they do. I know for me, when you were saying consistency, right now my consistency is at least once a week. If I go more than once a week, that's cool. But for right now, if I can do at least once
start
a week,
with a thing you can do again. That's it.
Yes, again. That's why I had to think about it.
Yeah.
I was like, one time a week, Ken. If we could do one time a week, eventually we'll push it up to 2. Once a week, I have accomplished my goal. It's small to somebody else, but it's big to me because I was doing nothing.
Yeah, I started walking outside here. My walk would be about a mile, and I walk very slow. So my mile might be 20 minutes, 18 minutes or something like that. And I would just walk. I had a little route. Now I kind of know the mileage around where we live to be like, okay, if I want to walk 2 miles, I need to take this route. If I want to walk a mile and a half, I need to do this route. But you just do what you do. And I did that I did a few times a week for that was actually when I really started picking up and being more consistent. Was let me do this walk 4 times a week, 3 times a week. And I was doing that on my own, and I think that consistency was important because I don't think if I would have went straight to a trainer, I don't think I would have had built up the mental fortitude to be like, this is a thing you need to do 4 to 5 times, as opposed to this is a thing I'm gonna do once and all right, I feel better now, back to whatever the fuck I've been doing, you know. All right, because we don't have voicemails and we only got one email, I'm gonna play another beat here in case I need to put some music in here later. Okay. I mean some ads in here later, and we'll come right back. Let's get into the last episode. 3075, the other McDonald. We had 8 comments. Abia says, I'm very happy about what you said about the protests. If I had to bet, I would bet that the most of the people who participated in them voted for Kamala in November. I wish the protests were full of Republicans or non-voters, because this would impress the current administration way more and make them fear that they are losing support. But for that, it's still too good. They are like cult members with their cult leader. If the cult leader predicted the world to end on a special day and it didn't happen, they will still believe him. They say, our cult leader is so powerful. He talked to God and convinced him to spare us one more time if we only give the cult leader more money. Same here. The stock market has gone to shit, but it was always the genius plan of our stable genius to make it way better in the long run. You just don't understand his genius mind. Exactly. I saw people touting the flip-flops and the losses and then the gain and then the loss and then the gain, being like, oh, he is so smart when negotiating. And the media has been covering it horribly because they say shit like, oh, Trump has ended, he's called a 90-day reprieve on his tariffs. But honestly, he hasn't. There's still a 10% tariff on every country. And then there's 100 and something % tariff on China. So actually, no, he has not ended his tariffs or nothing. It's just all chaos, and your treatment of it as good and bad and easy, like, oh, what a great day, is bullshit. It's bad, but it brings people together. I'm sure it will bring Europe way closer together. It's bringing everybody together. Like I heard China fucking with Korea now and shit. It's crazy. It will bring non-evil political powers closer together. I always feel bad for Americans. And there are, as I know, millions of them who didn't support this and have to suffer anyway, as the world learns that the U.S. is not a reliable partner anymore. Yeah.
Yep. And all it's going to do is cause people to retreat, and all it's going to do is cause people not to give money. But people fail to realize we're such a global economy, and America's in trillions of dollars of debt, and we borrow a lot of money from other countries. And so when we're considered unreliable and shit like this, and people don't know what to do with their money and where to put their money, you know, against the dollar and shit like this, all it does is cause our interest rate to go up, which means that we're going to pay more on this debt.
Yeah. And a man that doesn't pay his personal debts is not paying the fucking country's debts.
Right. And they do not, you know, he doesn't care, because as far as he's concerned, it is not going to quote unquote impact him. That's why he says stupid shit and dumb shit when most Americans are like, what you're saying is not smart, because he doesn't
This
care.
is essentially a private equity takeover of the country.
Yes, it is. And they're selling off parts.
Yeah. And then they're going to be like, all right, all the value is going out of America. I've enriched my personal pockets, and it's up to y'all to figure out how to bring this shit back from the brink, because I'm out. I don't give a fuck about y'all or the people that live here and the ones dumb enough to believe in me. I also don't care about your economic or financial or personal well-being. I'll talk with Mr. Appia about it, and I'm a specialist in global economics, but can someone explain this example? There's a tariff on German cars. They're getting more expensive for Americans. Americans could buy more American cars. Unfortunately, to build more of them, you need stuff from other countries, also burdened with more tariffs. More working factories, a specialized workforce, and so on. Even under the best circumstances, it would take years to do. And in this time, Americans have no other choices to pay more. Do I understand something wrong? No, you don't.
No, you don't. That's exactly what's happening. And we have a lot of dumb Americans over over here, go do American made. Well, bitch, every part of this quote unquote American made thing comes from another country. A lot of times, the pieces, the parts, the repairs, like all this shit comes from other places, which have fucking tariffs. It doesn't, like, you're not smart people.
Especially the specialization part, like that stuff isn't immediate. And then of course the bigger issue to me is paying American labor prices with the insurance and all the stuff that's required means that you're going to just be paying more for the American version of this shit anyway. So like this idea that it's going to save us money or make us money, it really won't. And it's not necessarily even keeping the money here. Like people find other loopholes to not pay for that shit, or they just won't buy the car. Like if the car is already $35,000 today, and we're like, well, in 2 years, once the American workforce does everything for it in America without any crossover from any other country, then all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, okay, well, how much is the car? $50,000. Right. Oh, well, fuck it. I still don't want a car. I did see today that they said the tariffs are not supposed to be impacted on electronics now. So if you want to get that Nintendo Switch, you I guess he's exempting that, or that iPhone. More importantly, that's the one, because the dude the iPhone dude gave him some money. Tim iPhone came through. So billionaires are getting their loopholes and breaks, but they can't exempt everything.
Yeah, and also because Americans are so dumb. Before I don't remember if it's, I'm gonna say it may have been Obama. I think it may have been Obama. They, in certain parts of the country where a lot of manufacturers were shutting down, they went, they was like, hey, we're gonna re-educate people. We're gonna, have y'all do these specialties that everybody talking about. And them people said no. People said no. We don't want to get re-educated. We don't want to learn. We like our coal or whatever the fuck we doing. Like, no, we're not doing any of this. So it's hard to get Americans to do the jobs for the specializations that would actually matter. Yeah. That if you wanted to do this isolation, you need people educated in these fields.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of denial happening here amongst his constituents. Like you said, cult. Sorry for commenting again. I'm on vacation this week. I'm pretty proud of the cult leader comment where no matter what he does, the followers see a genius. At the reversal of the tariffs, who knows what will happen till the weekend. This isn't politics anymore. It's a cult of hate, domination, and cruelty. The members feel better because they think they are the ones in the good graces with their leader, and this will save them. It will not. They enjoy the feeling of superiority because in their own lives they feel inferior, because they are hateful morons. To reach them, people who want to do so need to read up on cult deprogrammation literature. Yeah, she says my comments go to moderation so often I'm starting to have all kinds of thoughts in my nut job. I don't think so. Maybe. Let's not throw that completely out. It's possible, but as I told you earlier, don't worry about the moderation. I will always approve them. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Shoe Booty says the man who said be kind to your spouse in the Kiwi Bro clip was correct. Why bring such an adversarial energy to your home? The one place either partner should know peace. Act like you love your spouse, maybe. Oh, they got you. You fell for it. Damn, them gender wars are good.
Ain't they good?
Girl, we wasn't talking about that. I'll be honest. I don't remember what they said in that clip. I was judging it on a completely different scale.
It got me too because I was looking like, nigga, what?
Boy, it's slick. That gender wars, boy.
Now that one caught me. Most of the time they don't, but that one I was responding like, bitch, what are we talking about here?
Boy, that's how you got to give it a good score.
I'm like, treat your wife better. The fuck is this?
You got to give it a good score whenever it gets you. When you forget that you're not supposed to be judging.
Right? I was like, do you love her? What's happening here?
Mature young lady says, I love that Akash checked the fresh and fit dudes. He was articulate and made great points. Hope the asses felt embarrassed. It wouldn't have been received well coming from a woman. Hoping Akash struck a nerve that will influence a shift in thinking. I mean, you're right about that, but not being received well coming from a woman. But honestly, it would have made a better clip coming from a woman. Mm-hmm. And I was judging it on how good would the clip be, not how effective it would be. I also don't think anything ever will move those guys, and I think people need to recognize that. That's the reason that they're all constantly being this way. There is no reason for them to change or address reality or come around and grow as human beings. They are
It
only being
butters their
rewarded for
bread.
being negative, and they basically just rubber stamp content at this point. That's why just because they were being quiet in that clip, I can't credit them with like, wow, man, they get it. Like, no, it wasn't reaching them. They were just, it's all just part of a game. They're gonna be on their podcast or whatever fuck they do, YouTube, Twitch, whatever. They're gonna be there saying bullshit the next day.
Yes, sir.
Classic R&B Lover says, I will not be participating in any protests. I am clear that the white supremacy bunch is waiting for the justification to turn violent by sending in the military and implementing martial law, and we know the justification is a plethora of black bodies. Moreover, until those who voted for him, and I don't mean just the white ones, and those who chose to sit there rusty dusty's home in November get out and begin fighting the power, these protests are actually only going to feed the hate monster that helped get us here. They love owning the libs. Our pain is their joy. I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't know. To me, I don't think those protests are in vain. I don't think they don't matter. So I wouldn't go as far as to say they will, that they're just feeding the hate monster. I wouldn't go that far. I do understand what you're saying, but I think it is important for people to see that people don't agree with this shit.
Right.
And that they are together, and that especially with it being the people it is, I think it being mostly white people is good. I don't think I don't know. I think everybody's on message. Everybody's on doing their assignment, and this is what happens when you lose. This is what you got left. This is why I didn't want to lose, because a protest that I know nobody's gonna listen to, I can't. You can't make me feel but so whatever by that. Okay.
Right.
When you have an administration that will at least listen, that will at least try to attempt to do the things, it does matter to me. I'm not fully in the camp of like I see Ta-Nehisi Coates doing the speaking tour now or doing podcasts, and everything's like, how are the Democrats supposed to save us? They can't save democracy. They couldn't save Palestine. And my thing is, I don't know that they couldn't have been more hard on Palestine if they would have won. Like, I really think they would have been. I think Kamala Harris would have been better than Biden on it. I think she was signaling towards those things, but I'll never know. And I don't know that her saying that in the general election would have won her the campaign. I really don't know that. Maybe it would have, maybe it wouldn't have. I don't think as many people in America care about that topic as it feels online.
Agreed.
Mostly because it's a conflict that's been happening for generations and people haven't given a fuck the whole time. And I know that we know for a fact that some of these platforms on social media that push that conflict as like we need to not vote for Democrats were bad faith actors. We know Russia pushed that. So
Yep, and the second the election was over, all that shit stopped.
I don't want to say all that shit stopped. That's not true. We shouldn't say stuff like that. People still did go out and march and stuff. People did protest and stuff, but it just don't matter now. The people in charge fundamentally could not be fucking bothered. If anything, they're on the other side of it.
Agreed.
And so it makes sense that much of it has died down, obviously. And I'm sure, because I had already done a lot to keep that stuff off my timeline, I'm sure that it could still be going on. They could still be showing bombings and dead bodies and stuff that people were sending around heavily during that period of time. That might still be happening. I just didn't want to see it. But I don't need to see dead bodies for me to be like, I understand that this is wrong and that this needs to stop.
I will take that statement back. All that shit stopped. What I will say is it slowed down. Put it like that. That's a better way to phrase it. It slowed down and it's not everywhere like it was before.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it could still be out there. To be honest, I was never in those cliques. Okay,
Yeah, same.
A lot of people were. I remember people, and this is why I don't know. If you're online a lot, you can be affected by a lot, and a lot of us refuse to admit that the pot we're in is boiling, and that means someone's finger is on the temperature at all times. We know that these social media sites have literally done experiments on our brain. We know that Facebook literally went to see, can we make someone depressed, and found out, yes, we can. If we show them the right stuff on their feed, they will become depressed. We can make people angry. We can make people happy. people took that as if, well, then they took their finger off the post, and of course now everybody's just doing what they want. No, they gathered information, and these people who were at the inauguration for Donald Trump, I'm talking TikTok, I'm talking Twitter, that means also Instagram, that means Facebook. Those guys are at the fucking inauguration.
Right.
To think that they sat back, wanted the candidate they wanted to be there to support, Donald Trump, the guy who they wanted to win. Jeff Bezos changed the fucking editorial section of this paper that he bought. This is their fucking man. If you think that they did not see the impact of that shit on social media and say, whatever we can do to erode the goodwill or the hope or the fact that this one option is better than the other, whatever we can do, we need to fucking do this psyop. We need to get people feeling this way. We need to make sure that people stay home, stay unmotivated, be anti-democrat, so that our man Trump can come in and turn Palestine into glass or beachfront property and all that other shit that he said. We can operate on their brains enough that we can make them irrational.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, but rationally better is better than worse. Period. It's of all things. Period. So the fact that you have people out here still walking around like, well, look, Democrats just wasn't good enough, so we just need to deal with what's going on worse. What is happening is objectively worse. There's no fucking way to defend what is happening right now. It is worse. And if you just want to be mad that mama was late to pick you up from soccer practice when daddy was an abusive alcoholic who never fucking comes around other than to beat you, and now he gets the full custody of the child, fuck you. That's how I'm feeling right now. So to me, it's just it's like I said, I don't mind the protests that are happening right now. I think they're mostly for the good. They're what people are able to do. But this is what you are left with. Because there are policies and things that we pushed Biden on that we got.
Yes.
And what I got instead is, well, we didn't get everything, so fuck it, let Trump back in office. And I think that's the most asinine thinking we've ever had. And I think we're all suffering through it together. And I'm not just blaming the Democrats, which is the scapegoat that makes everyone feel better, because we can all go, we're not Democrats. So I mean, listen, I'm black, I always vote Democrat, but I'm not a Democrat, so fuck them. That's the real problem. No, man, it's look around. Your fellow citizens the fucking problem. We had our easy choice and we failed that shit. So now you got marches and TikTok dances, and if that's what it's gonna take to get the fuck back together, then I guess give it a shot. I don't know if it'll work, because I don't know what the fuck is gonna work at this point anyway.
Right.
Mary says, I attended the protest in downtown LA. I wasn't going to, but Corey got me inspired to do something, even if it was performative. I went with some white friends, of course, and they are the ones who voted. A couple of them are even in a book club and reading books on resistance, so they are very earnest and sincere. Yeah, I don't know what people got out of mocking those protests. I really don't. I really, like, I'm trying to understand.
To feel better. I think
you're in the house. How are you superior? You not doing shit. And if you truly are unbothered, then let them people cook. I don't know what was to be gained by being like, well, if they would have voted. They did fucking vote. Well, those are not the people that didn't vote. I guarantee you these people didn't come out the fucking house with signs in a time where Trump is in office, where he can see their motherfucking face, because they were like, listen, I couldn't be bothered to vote, but I can go march. No, I guarantee you the vast majority of them people voted.
Yes, but I still think that a lot of these people, they feel a form of superiority to those people that they went out there. And for some people, it was a way to mock white people. For some of them, it was a way to, quote unquote, take their frustration on a group of white people that were not going to be out there in the march and lump them all together. And, that's false, but a lot of people were doing that. A lot of people, they're angry, they're mad, they're sad, and they're depressed, and they don't know what to and where to point all these big-ass feelings and big-ass emotions that they have going through their brains. They spend a lot of time online, and online demands that you pour your emotions on it, and you don't filter through your emotions, and you don't actually do the work to actually get to the root cause of why do you feel the way you feel, and why do you do the things that you do. And you know, when you start asking yourself these questions, that means things have to change. You have to do self-reflection. Like it's a deeper thing. So instead of doing quote unquote the work, it's just like all them white people the same. You know, it's a shortcut, but at the root cause of it, it's a lot of sadness, anger, depression, all these things, and it comes out as well, I'm not out there, so I'm superior to them because I didn't take my black ass out there this time, type of thing. And this is my, you know, me on the outside looking in, and I think that, you know, not everybody, but for a lot of people, I think, particularly online, I think that's why a lot of people, you know, they do those things because it's easier to point your fingers and blame them than it is to look at your fellow voters and maybe even yourself and ask myself, why did I sit out? Why did I didn't vote? You know, or whatever the reason is. It's easier to look at
I
this
think
collection.
the people making that point did vote.
Yes, I do too, but
So I don't think they're saying I'm doing this because I don't want to look at myself and why I didn't vote. The people making that point are like, I voted for Kamala. Y'all didn't go vote for Kamala. Now you out here marching. And I'm like, those people did vote for Kamala. So it does. What I'm saying is picking on those people is stupid and a waste of fucking time.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, I'm not saying you didn't agree. I don't know why you're approaching me like we disagreeing, but sure, go ahead.
No.
Venn diagrams be kicking people ass. That's what it is. A Venn diagram is the two circles, and how much do these circles overlap? So what people are approaching this, when they see the march, they go, circle of white people who sat out and did not vote. And then they go, circle of people who are marching. And they say, this the same circle.
Right.
And I'm saying they are not the same circle.
No, they're not.
If anything, them circles are barely touching.
Yes.
Motherfuckers are not marching that didn't vote. That's it. Same thing with the Pink Pussy Hat March. All them women voted for Hillary Clinton. They put the pantsuits on and all this shit. Them, you can make fun of them for just being white women, but those white women are the good white women. I don't even get what you get out of fucking with them. There's a bunch of shitty white women who are volunteering to be shat on, that deserve to be shat on, that deserve to be called out. Go fuck with them.
Yeah, I agree, and we are put like this. We're basically saying the same thing, but your question was, why do these people that do it, like why? And that's what I was trying to answer. But it's still stupid and irrelevant.
My why isn't from. No, I'm not asking a why because I don't understand. No. I'm saying why because I'm saying it's stupid. It's like me saying.
Okay. Never mind. Okay,
I'm not asking for an explanation. I'm like, why are y'all doing that? That's dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like if I saw someone about to touch a hot stove. I'm not really asking like, what is the motivation to make you touch it? I'm saying, why the fuck are you touching a hot stove? You're gonna get burned.
That's dumb, right?
It is a waste of time.
And it's gonna cause pain.
These are the allies. They mean the best.
They mean good.
I'm not even a person that's in community like that with allied people, but them ain't the ones to be shitting on. It's the waste of fucking time.
Them ain't the ones, and you can't run everybody away, then turn around and be like, why ain't nobody in the corner but us?
If you're gonna shoot, just shoot at the enemy. That's all I'm saying. It just seems stupid.
Ain't that the truth? Use your ammunition properly.
Yeah, it's why I'm not, like people are shitting on anyway, it's just not. To me, it's a waste of time. And I know where it comes from, but it's still a waste of time. It doesn't make it right. It's dumb. It's a waste of time.
Yes, sir.
They will also be there for Burning ALC this Saturday. They are super hyped, but I think I'm one and done. Anyway, I think the best thing I saw at the march was when a member of our group asked if we could step to the side for a moment to get away from a person with a megaphone chanting out phrases. Turns out the megaphone person was very pro-Palestine and yelling to wipe out Israel, while the person in our group wanted a two-state solution. Instead of bailing and not participating, our person just moved a little out the way but stayed in the protest. This is how I imagine a real big tent party would work. We will have our differences but still stick together in one common goal: defeat Trump. That's how it's going to have to be.
Yep. Not going to have a choice.
Like, that's the thing that I think is so funny is everybody always looks at the most leftist point of view and go, how do we get that person to vote? And I'm always like, man, I wonder how many people are sitting out because of that. Like, it's all math. And if you were in charge of being the politician that has to win America, you'd have to start doing some math that you don't like. Mm-hmm. That ain't gonna make you look like a good person and make you out to be the most pristine person. You gotta start doing math on like, okay, how many people do I lose for being like saying some shit that people can conflate with anti-Semitism and needing to fight that battle in the public every day and explain how I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm just blah blah blah, and it's I erode votes and goodwill, what costs me more, that or being like, actually I'm gonna not speak out for Palestinians? Now I gotta make that math. It's trying to win this country is a very, it's gonna compromise you.
Yes, it is.
Evie says, I forgot there were protests until I saw a post about them on TikTok. While I doubt it will change Dump's mind on anything, I commend those who participated because it could inspire other people to take action, like being more politically active, taking to the streets, or actually working to get the apathetic people to vote. Thumbs up. Stephen A stays talking out his ass. I think he believes he's more important than he actually is. He's one step below Jason Whitlock, in my opinion. He's just not Uncle Ruckus level quite yet, like Jason, basically. Yeah, and yeah, everything you said, I don't disagree. Speaking of the buffoon Whitlock, he got called out by Nick Fuentes, who basically said he only gets away with what he's saying because he's black, and a white person couldn't say it without being called a racist. I fucking hate that coon for making me agree with anything Nick Fuentes said, but it's clear the reminder to him that tokens get spent. Yeah, that was fun. I like that Nick Fuentes called him out. I was like that dude in Godzilla. Let them fight, because fuck them. Fuck both of them, honestly.
And then fade away where you don't see the fight.
I wouldn't even help. Not a second. I wouldn't help not a motherfucking second, dog. Just a piece of terrible person. The reason why Fresh and Fit didn't fight back in that Gender Wars clip is because they never seem to have a comeback for men, only women because they're clowns. Yeah. I don't watch them enough to know that, but I assumed it. All right, last one for YouTube. We got Douglas, who says, Rod, I know I'm washed because I stayed in line for over an hour in 45-degree weather to walk in at the Passport Acceptance Center. I don't even know that that's wash. Is that a wash thing to do? I don't think that's washed. What is the non-wash version of that? Don't everybody gotta wait in the line? Was it like a cool line and you wasn't in the cool line?
You wasn't in the popping line?
Maybe I don't know enough about the Passport Acceptance Center, but
Me either.
that sounds like the right thing to do.
I don't think I've ever been.
I don't think there's a cool way to do it unless not go at all.
Right.
Shix B says, we're looking to having some of your fave pieces repurposed, or Stephen A. BKA by me as Sassy. Also known as Sassy A, made me fall out. Thank you, Shix B. And I'm not gonna have my clothes repurposed, man. I'm actually just gonna donate them to like the people that, like Goodwill and some of these clothes donation boxes. Yeah, because it's probably some bigger homeless people or bigger people that don't want to spend as much money as I had to spend on them brand new shits and get. This will be a lot. If y'all see a lot of people in Hornets gear that are just like, holding up signs at intersections, thank me. Be like, yo, look at this dude. He
in anime cool shirts.
And that Larry Johnson motherfucking jersey and that Naruto t-shirt.
Right.
But yeah, I've been buying like this shirt here is 3X, and I have to get them tall because like I still have a belly and I feel like I don't want it riding up on my stomach too much. Mm-hmm. So I just been buying a bunch of 3X tall shirts for now that are just like, so I can still do a little bit of my comic book stuff, but I'm not buying too many because I'm hoping this to keep going down. So we'll see, but I've just been doing that lately.
Yay.
Andre says, I've been on a weight loss journey for the past 4 years, lost roughly 80 pounds, went from size 40 to 34. Yeah, that's what's crazy is like the parts of my body where it is more pronounced that I'm losing weight are like my legs. My legs look like they're great. Sometimes I see them in the mirror. I'm like, wow, I got muscles and everything.
Ah, shit, you flexing? You ought to do it, thunder thighs, all them squats and pulling and stuff you be talking about doing.
But like nobody looks at your legs, especially not for a man. You know what I mean?
I guess nobody but me.
It's no like if I wear shorts or something, nobody's like, God damn, look at the calves on that guy. Like that's not a thing. So
nobody but me.
So
I like your legs.
I just know my legs are strong. And of course Karen, but it's it's interesting because I think if I was doing it for vanity purposes, I'm sure I'd be trying some other stuff, but I'm not doing it for those purposes. It just comes along as it comes along. Anyway, but
you ain't gonna wear them high riders to show them thunder thighs.
I had to donate a lot of clothes, and I understand. I wanted to make sure I could maintain my weight before getting rid of clothes. I tried to buy new clothes a little at a time and not all at once. That's basically what I'm doing. and we'll see how it goes. Jane says, right, I totally understand with the clothes during weight loss. Nobody tells you it's like the reverse of growing out of your clothes as a kid. I would definitely say keep the pieces that are really special to you, but not because you will fit in them again, but because they're special. LOL. Yeah, I'm looking at this Larry Johnson jersey like, what do I do?
You probably get
It's like a
somebody
jersey hoodie or whatever. I'll probably be able to buy a different one at a different size, but
okay.
I might just wait a while before I do that, because to me hoodies can be big. I don't think a hoodie to me don't need to be fitting. It just need to be a hoodie.
Okay, if I say because they got alteration places.
Yeah, I'm okay right now. I'm not pressed. None of this y'all don't have to come up with solutions for any of this. I'm okay. It's just I was sharing my journey. It wasn't really I didn't mean to trigger anybody. But it's definitely a mental hurdle when you built up a collection of clothes you love. Great work. You and Karen are the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, the real thing is gonna be when will I start buying some of these Teepublic nerd shirts again? That's gonna be the real one, because right now all of them they're just slightly awkwardly big. They're not like hugely big, but they're just they're bigger than they need to be, and sometimes they're slumping off me just a little bit in a way that makes them not fitting. So I have to think about that. Rashad says ran into Harrison Ford's jet is such an underrated reference. Thanks, buddy. Okay, not everybody be picking up what I'm putting down. Coakley Negra says y'all are killing me. Jason says, I can definitely relate to the bucket hat banter a few years ago when they were giving out Devin Booker t-shirts at the arena out here. We showed up extra early to secure the package. Now, the t-shirt ended up being medium rare, so I only got one wear out of it before it shrunk too much in the dryer, but we got the shirts. Stephen A. Smith might be an example of the power of the suit. If I told you there was a dude running around saying outlandish, contrarian things every day and then threatening to run for president, you'd be like, what's Kanye up to now? I think it's fair to ask if there is legitimately something wrong with him. He seems increasingly unhinged. That LeBron confrontation might be his Obama clown and Trump at the correspondence dinner moment. Yeah, and I've listened to him I've listened to him what I would call lie. I think he lied. I listened to him on Karen Hunter's show when he was interviewed by her, and he seemed to completely be cogent and understand how ridiculous it was for a person like him to claim he would run for president. And now he has spent nothing but since then talking about, I need to take this seriously. I have no choice to take this seriously. As if he's really going to run for president. Whether he does or not is not important to me. A man of integrity and of his word would have said, I did tell this woman I was not going to do that. A week later, I'm acting like I am going to do that. Whether I'm playing a game or not, I am at least being morally inconsistent. And he seems to have been caught in a lot of contradicting opinions and shit of lately. Even the LeBron stuff, I never had a problem with him. I never liked him. Whatever, man. It's just sad to see a dude go out like that, who I think is a very talented TV person. Like, he's very good at making great TV.
He's good at his
and
job.
I don't know why he needs to move beyond frivolity other than just his ego and narcissism, because he's great at being frivolous. He's one of the best people we've ever had in this country at just taking something frivolous and being able to turn it into entertainment.
Yes.
Sports is very good because sports doesn't really need to matter. But every time he delves outside of sports, he just shows that it makes you even look at his sports stuff like, damn, man, like, you really don't need to know what you're talking about and don't care to know what you're talking about, because you definitely don't know what you're talking about with tariffs, and you're parroting Trump on these tariffs. And at the same time, like, do you really know what you're talking about with LeBron, or is Michael Jordan just the guy that texts you, so that's the one that shall go? I don't know. Let's see. Earl Richardson says, Rod, did Eddie Kane Jr. almost ran into the back of a truck? Thank you, man. Also, I love that we as blacks have decided his name is Eddie Kane Jr. I was so shocked the day I looked up the IMDb and it was Eddie King Jr. Cause
it's King.
Yeah, you didn't know?
No, I thought that was Eddie King.
No, it's King, King.
Oh, I thought that A in there.
It was. I have been saying Eddie Kane, Cane. Like, y'all don't want to hang with old Eddie Kane.
Yeah.
I've been saying that my whole life, and I like that this person typing this made me go, okay, it ain't just me. I feel like all black people been calling him Kane. The way he delivered that line sounded like Kane.
It did, and that's what it's gonna be.
I wouldn't be surprised if Leon was like, I actually thought his last name was Kane, and that's what I said.
That's what I said. No, and nobody edited it.
Did you participate in the protest last weekend? 5% of our audience did. 94% did not.
Good for you.
Shout out to y'all that participated. I won't be making any jokes about y'all because I know y'all voted. Y'all listen to this shit. So I already know y'all on the right team. So
Agreed.
no need to make you feel bad. In addition to that, already living in America. All right. I don't think we have any voicemails. I'll check one last time before going to the emails. I wouldn't be shocked if they shut the voicemail call line down anyway.
I think it's up until May.
It said May, yeah.
Okay.
But, Skype don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
they don't give. They were like, we were close. We were shutting the doors down anyway. What? It don't matter if we shut it down early.
We only got one email, and I'll play a little bit of beat. Let's play Luminous from Infrared Crypto, one of his new beats. Smooth R&B vibe to it. All right. Shatina writes in, feedback show. Hi, Rod and Karen. I've been listening to the show for 9 years, and you two have provided so many laughs. However, nothing took me out more than Karen saying, y'all better open up them doors, when Rod was making the lock the doors joke during the feedback show. I'm still laughing as I type this, so I hope it makes sense. It does make sense. I thought it was very funny myself. I don't know how people hate on Karen. This show wouldn't be what it is without both of your unique personalities. I love you guys. I agree. Oftentimes, when I'm going back and submitting clips or editing the show and stuff, I'm always like, so appreciative of Karen being here. Her energy. I don't know what people think this show would be without her energy, but I'm not saying this to blow any smoke. I really legitimately think the show would suck if it was just me. And that's not me being like self-deprecating to be like, I'm the worst. I just think the energy would be totally fucking off. It would not be
different.
You need the ad libs, you need the yes and the agreement, you need the interruptions, you need the amped up moments that Karen provides when she goes on like a rant, or you need all of this shit. It is literally two puzzle pieces fitting together. If you take away one puzzle piece, it won't be right.
It won't feel right.
Yeah, I'm not interested in doing a show without Karen. Period. So I don't even know why people would want less Karen. I get why people would want less me, but that's also because they don't understand the show.
No, they do not understand the show if you want less Rod.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like, wanting less me is fine. That's like, not wanting the straight man or the narrator or whatever the fuck. Like, that's fine. Not wanting Karen means you just don't get the show. What y'all want? Dan Levitar's dad off of Highly Questionable?
I know. You don't get the show.
Yeah, this is stupid. But anyway, let's not talk about those idiots that want that. Let's talk more about. We'll be back throughout the week. All right, guys. We have no more Hornets games to go through.
Yeah, the
shocking. They didn't make the playoffs again.
The season is over. We're not even in contention for the play-in.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk that?
So I guess we'll be
back for another season.
We'll be doing a few more shows throughout the week.
Yeah,
more than likely.
It might go up. The number of shows.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys throughout the week and whatnot, and and then I can hopefully finally get through this backlog. When I tell y'all, I got like 20 movie reviews, and I've just watched them all by myself. Karen was not interested in watching any of them with me.
I was probably watching Hitchcock.
So you're probably gonna get a lot of solo movie reviews if you're into that type of thing. And I mean, going way back. These are some old reviews I owe you guys.
That's fine.
But I'll try to start knocking those down since we won't be having to do some shit every fucking night. All right, y'all. Until next time. Don't forget, Discord link is in the chat. Is in the show notes. So if you would like to join that Discord, I'm putting it in today's show notes. Okay? So don't rewind. No, Rod, I didn't. Motherfucker, click the link.
It's in the link.
That's where it is. Don't DM me. Or go to our website and look at the comments on that episode. Which episode? Rewind, motherfucker. You're listening to the podcast right now. Go all the way back to which episode
You can do
Shoe
it.
Booty left those comments on.
I believe in you.
And then y'all go join the Discord server, and then she can help y'all do stuff like find people that want to say Rod is currently reading this book, or this is the isekai Karen was talking about, or here is the video game that they like, or here's the one that I like myself, so that y'all can stop asking me on social media like, what was the name of, can you explain who wrote the White Negroes book? Like, no, don't stop asking me. Some stuff is just for me. All right, y'all, till next time, I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Bye everybody, have a good rest of your